everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Savannah, a channel where we equip African talent with mindset change, skills, and visibility to help you get those remote opportunities or put you in the global space. And today we are joined by Mr. Bhavesh Chandaria, a people CEO, a global leader, and a turnaround strategist, and an award-winning mentor. I am so humbled. And you know, Bhavesh has shaped organizations and careers across Africa, India, and beyond. And I dare say he has shaped my own career, and we're going to delve deeper into that. And for this particular episode, you're going to be talking about, you know, untapped potential. We want to talk about how young people can actually take advantage of the future of work. What is the future of work? And, you know, talk about what is yet to come rather than what has passed. So without further ado, help me welcome Mr. Bhavesh Chandaria. Welcome, Bhavesh.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. It's so awesome to be here with you, Lauren.
Amazing, amazing. I think we've known each other for the past, 10 years?
I guess.
Coming on 10 years, right? Yeah?
Yes. I remember interviewing you.
Right.
From the campus.
From campus.
Yes.
But before we get into like where our stories kind of collide, because I've got a beautiful story to tell, and there's a statement that you made that had such an impact in how I view my career that I'm gonna let you know today. But I want to know, before, you know, the titles, before the awards, and, you know, before boardrooms, who was Bhavesh? Where does your journey start? I always love to ask this question because I feel like it can resonate with one person, 10,000s, right? So where does your journey start? And even more importantly, what are some of those milestones that, you know, made you who you are today? And at what point did you decide, or did you realize that your career was going to revolve around people, transformation, and what you do today? So, loaded question.
Oh, thank you. Nostalgia hits now. A small boy from a very small town, remote town in India, born 73. I think one of the first defining moments in my life was getting into competitive football.
Ooh.
You might be surprised, I'm a national player of football.
American football or Kenyan football?
No, the Kenyan football, the African football. So I think that shaped me, playing very competitive. And I was under 12 years when I played under 14 and under 17. So even a year at adolescent age makes your body look very different. So one tiny guy with all giants around, so David and Goliath.
Yeah.
And one of the things that shaped me was people say that you can't fight the Goliath. He's too huge.
Yeah.
And I used to think, and somebody told me, Goliath is too huge to miss.
Oh.
So take a shot.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective. So I think that competitive football for 4 years really shaped me. Traveling, going away from home, staying at camps for 21 days, being a vegetarian, surviving those food, playing 7 to 8 hours of football every day away, shaped me. Then I took a maverick move to Mumbai, in a hyper city, in a very good college, after my 10th, what we call in India, around 89, so age 16.
Okay.
And you're thrown to the wild world of Mumbai. And I think the college and the hostel really shaped me. A lot of learning happened at the hostel. I was lucky to be with senior people, much more senior to me. And among my wing of hostel at 42 members, 14 rooms, 3 each, I was the only one who was undergrad, 11 standard, and the rest of them were MBAs. So I was their go-to boy, and I learned early because of that. I used to join them. So that was my defining moment, where I learned things very early.
Yeah.
And something kept me going because I kept reading, I kept listening, I kept absorbing what happens. So that really shaped me. Also, my father had a great influence on me. He wanted me to travel abroad very early. He wanted me to learn a foreign language very early. And meet the civil servants when they visit our small town, have confidence to talk to them, meet them. He had a lasting impression and taught me some very, very good tricks to aim higher and bigger, to become more.
Become more. I love that. I love that. And at what point did you realize in your career that, you know what, moving forward, my career is going to be shaped around, you know, people and leadership and transformational, you know, all the work that you do?
Couple of things. I majored in finance at MBA. But I also took the other papers.
Okay.
But that year the rules changed. The same day, all specializations were to be tested. So if you opt for finance, you can't do HR. So I did finance, HR, and marketing. All the three I studied. But I could only opt in for my most preferred. That was finance then.
Okay.
But then I got a chance to go to London, so to sell wine. And in '97, going to London or selling wine was a big thing. So I dropped the finance career and I went to selling, thinking it's going to be very casual and for a few months. But one of the defining moments that came across me was going back to hometown in 2000 in academia. And there was an opportunity to start an MBA college.
Okay.
And thanks to the Kenyan donors, the Kenyan Oshwal donors who came to a small town because they belong there. And during that moment, my hostel days where I learned a lot about MBA from my seniors came into the fore, and I was very well read. I read everything very early. And believe me, every top-selling management book was read by me. Or vicariously, I heard or learned the summaries from others.
Yeah.
What goes into a group discussion, how placement offers are made, how the presentations are made, how research is done. I learned a lot during those days. And during my MBA, I became a founding dean of an MBA at the age of 26.
Whoa.
When there were professors who worked along with me and under me, had more than 30 years of experiences. And there were students who were elder to me. So I used to tell them, let's learn together. It's a new institute. We might not have all the faculty, all the facilities, and be on a remote part of India. So at that time, I came to know that I think I have it in me to, and the space between what I call is a window. One of the rock stars had this song, I forgot who it was. Like, we are like windows. I'm like a window where there is this known and there is this unknown. And in between is a door and window. So we become we usher them in to the era of known, and gradually so. So that happened, and I saw that when I went to Mumbai, there were guys at my hostel who gave me advices, who mentored and coached me into what are the right paths and what are the wrong paths, or what are the smarter ways and what are the less smarter ways of fighting the rat race of Mumbai. Even if you win, you are still a rat, but you are a smarter rat. So those impressions were lasting, left lasting impression on me. That going from a small town, making a mark in Mumbai was not easy.
Yeah.
Especially you don't speak right English, accent is different, you don't have those many contacts, and you have to make your own. 1,400 students were there in one class at college.
Oh. That's a huge number.
In one class, let's say it is year one of university, 1,400.
Wow.
And how do you even make somebody recognize you, or how you stick your neck out or get noticed? It was difficult. So
not even sell a new, college to students. So I'm sure your experience selling wine in London must have come in handy.
Oh yeah, selling humbles everybody. I believe on one side, I always say, who's customer? Customer is anybody walking in street with my money in their pocket. Should be the attitude. But to convert that money into your pocket and to solve a problem and to ethically sell humbles you.
Yeah.
And I guess that also honed me. You have to cold call, you have to keep trying, you have to manage objections. You wake up again, start walking. I foot soldiered whole of London,
Wow.
whole of UK. Drove, sold Indian wine. And yeah, so during that moment of academia where I was there, I came to know that yes, I can make a difference to students because I had been gifted by those mentoring and coaching moments, and I was well read. So that
I love that. I love that. You know, when you're speaking, and my mother, so when I was growing up, my mother hated the fact that, first of all, I was almost the youngest in my class all through. And then I only had like elderly friends. Like my friends were way, above my age. And she hated that fact. One of my really longest friends, we've been friends for the past 15 years. She's 7 years older than me. And yeah, I do have to apologize for some of the, mistakes that I've made that she's been blamed for. But
okay.
and I think like our stories do align, or I do see some similarities in that, you were amongst, people who are, way ahead in life more than you are. So you got to learn from them. You also did like finance. I did my undergrad in accounting and I hated it after, doing my internship. And when I landed my first role at Mabati Rolling Mills as a graduate trainee, I remember the first conversation we had. I mean, I knew getting into HR, I knew that I wanted to be the shrink of the organization. But I always thought of it as me, helping that one person. And I remember this conversation really well. And you talked about why you got into, or why you do what you do in terms of LTD at that time, like learning, training, and development, was that when you impact someone's life, like an employee's life, you're not just impacting their life, you're impacting their life, their family's life, their extended family's lives. And I was just like, you know what? This is so much bigger than just that one person. And that completely changed my mindset and how I look at what I do. So for me, HR, and thanks to you, it's not just about that one person, that job. But I know even when we are bringing out opportunities to people, when someone lands an opportunity that is, way better than what they were getting, it's affecting a whole community. And all that is thanks to you.
I mean, you're so kind to me, but yes, I mean, it's so fulfilling to see one person who's arrested development can become a role model, and it kind of spreads. It's contagious, and you're on a positive cycle. Lovely, well done.
Yeah. So let us come back to present day, right? What is your mandate as a people CEO? And I want to know what that is. You're not just a CEO, you're a people CEO. So what is your mandate as a people CEO, and what are, in your opinion, what are some of the impactful work that you're doing or that plans that you have for the African talent?
Okay, my mandate is to deliver our business results as agreed upon. And I manage to get into perfect storm situations where things are adverse externally and internally. And you have little time, and you got to find out. So A is first deploy cognition to read and scan the environment. And then B is to apply heart to engage with people to get it to overcome, because in any situation there is a stretch, and when there is a stretch, you would want to make people take inconvenient stands of getting out of comfort zone, getting into courage zone, getting into learning and growth zone. And when you want to make them want to do it, you have to enroll them to your mission. So my mandates are basically to deliver business results at agreed KPIs. And I generally believe that rallying key people support, and then they rallying the masses support. A willing enrollment to the mission of the organization is very important. Go slow to go fast, think properly, engage, and then get it. So be it Rwanda or be it Ethiopia, both were in little tougher situations. And I'm happy to say that in the hindsight, it looks okay that we have steered through tough situations very successfully and with very high employee engagement scores. Employee engagement scores are leading indicators for success because if employees are engaged employees, one who believes in giving more than required to pass on. She passes on her discretionary effort, which she could easily withhold, all right, towards the success of organization. And to tap into that is an art and a science and a luck and a sweat and blood and everything.
Right.
And you do 25 things right, but one thing a little less right, people nowadays could be touchy. And yes, so I believe getting employee engagement in place and using that as a strategic lever have brought me where I am. Also using homegrown African talent. That was the motto of your graduate training program 10 years before. Homegrown African steel professionals. So I believe in giving first opportunities to people who have not yet had that opportunity as a manager. So even if somebody is half there, I take a risk and give them that position of responsibility. And there is something called beginner's luck and early enthusiasm. And if both come into play with smart way of engaging, do deliver results. It gives you a lot of stress. It gives you a lot of tension at the top because sometimes they're doing it for first time and it's not easy.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I love that because I think I'm a beneficiary of the graduate training program and do exactly that. Fresh, energetic, eager, and all that, yeah? But at this stage, right, now that you are more and more in boardrooms and, you are a CEO, I want to know, from your perspective, what do you think is the future? What does the future of work really look like? Aside from AI, I mean, everyone is talking about AI, right? Aside from that, what do you think the future of work really looks like? And what are some of the skill sets that a person should have in terms of them preparing for the next phase in their employment?
I think the future is not what it used to be. And future of work is going to change much faster than we can even fathom. Would it be work? Would it be play? Would it be suffering? Would it be joy?
Yeah.
Would it be compulsory or optional? We also have entitled genre who believe that the food could be downloaded and the basic necessities could be given. Yet we have so much of diversity in the whole spectrum. So it's difficult to gauge future of work. The shelf life of clarity is going to shrink. The shelf life of skills is going to shrink. You had a graduate degree, I had a graduate degree, and we were supposed to monetize that eternally for the lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now the skill building, earlier skill building or the degree absorption was 3 or 4 years, and monetization was 3 decades. Now the skill building is best in time. You need a skill, you have it best in time, and the shelf life of that skill could be weeks or quarters or maximum in a year.
Yeah.
So the things have changed.
Right.
Now, what skills, what attitude, what competence would make us survive in this VUCA bunny world of overwhelming, fast pace of change? Number one, be contemporary. Number two, learn to do what to do when you don't know what to do.
Okay.
Life would not come in a set pattern, fuzzy logic. It would unbundle in disruptive, unprecedented ways. So what to do when you don't know what to do would be important. I was listening to Simon Sinek questioning Esther recently that what is one skill that you would want the next genre to have, and she rightfully says, and I completely believe, and I completely follow that, is speaking to strangers.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, so this next generation is speaking to devices. Even having an eye contact at a subway or a bus is intimidating. However, I believe having an eye contact is the most precious gift of humankind.
Right.
And we are so reduced to not look at people, not smile. And hence, I completely believe striking conversations with strangers is a great skill.
I love that.
So, program and project management is very important. How do we get work done from others? How do you influence somebody to walk out of their comfort zones? With this genre, who is so opinionated, who have formed their belief systems, and then to make them do something that is slightly inconvenient. Okay, it's going to be a skill and half, a talent and half, or a challenge and half. So all these would have a play into success and near misses. So human element, project management, planning, risk anticipation, risk aversion, risk mitigation is very important, because different things going to hit you.
True.
And it's not about falling down, it's about bouncing back after you fall down. And falling down is part of the learning experience. But those things are very important. I don't know, am I making sense to you?
Yeah,
I'm all over the place, but that's how the world is going to be fuzzy.
Fuzzy, yeah, you absolutely make sense, because part of the work that we do as BTS is, whenever you're having a conversation with a client, is yes, you've got your degree, yes, you've got your master's, but can you focus more on the short courses? And I loved what you said, that it's, even when you upskill, it is for a time, then you have to continuously upskill it, right? So I always say, like, I'm going to give you 8 courses to do, but that is just the beginning. And especially because I can only speak, confidently in the remote space, especially in the remote space, you're going to find yourself in situations where you're in the deep end, and either you swim or you drown. And the only way to get yourself out of that is by continuously researching and, yes, producing the results. But you have to, that eagerness of learning has to be intrinsic, and you have to get yourself into the habit of just learning and learning and learning.
Okay, I want to give you a very profound learning that I have learned. Is in this speedy life, the learning shelf life is very less finite, and it vaporizes, because we are living piecemeal. We use AI, we use YouTube, we learn and we forget. But the reality of life is that lasting impressions happen when you reflect. So we are moving from one project to another project to third project to fourth project at a pace which is overwhelming. But where are the pauses where we reflect? So I would discount anybody saying I have this much of experiences or this many projects. I would say no. What distillation happened through reflection. And if we move on from one project to another project without having pauses to reflect and to build on your strengths and to circumvent your weaknesses, then you are not doing it better. You're doing the same mistakes again and again and again. Somebody I heard at playing tennis or squash, somebody was saying that practicing again and again and again is not as important as having a right coach and improving a technique. Otherwise, I am reinforcing my less than perfect play and solidifying a suboptimal. So you need to reflect. That is missing in today's world. Second, what today's world need to do is have patience. We having a pandemic syndrome of impatience for irresolution.
Yes.
We want everything instant karma.
Yes.
And in this genre of instant karma, but the learning happens in the spaces, in the pauses of discomfort. So are we absorbing with confidence? When you're down, have conviction and confidence. When you're up, don't be overconfident and arrogant. Both has to be remembered.
Yeah,
When you're up
balance.
there, humbleness. When you're down there, confidence. But the meantime is important, and how do you reflect, absorb, and withstand the meantime is what I'm telling the next John.
Yeah.
Okay, because it will strike, and when it strike, you got to seize it.
You have to be ready for it
Yeah.
and still have the patience to, wait for it to happen.
Without losing confidence, without. So, however much you sweat during the peace, less you bleed during the war. Isn't it?
Yes. Absolutely.
Preparedness.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking of reflections, seeing as you've been in the HR space for 20 years plus, or even just in the education space, right? What are some of the, now speaking as a recruiter, what are some of the qualities that you'd like to see in a candidate? And I know we've spoken a little bit about them, but what are some of the qualities that you'd actually want to see in a in a candidate, sorry? And what gives you the ick from a candidate? I'll be honest with you. I think that there's some interviews that I've attended and I'm just like 5 minutes in, I'm like, waste of my time. But I want to know from you, what are some of the qualities that give you the ick in a candidate, and what are some of the qualities that you actually want to see from a candidate, especially when you're not speaking to like university students and young professionals?
I think preparedness is visible. And more profound, lack of preparedness is even more visible.
More visible, yeah.
So filtering out or weeding out unfit is also, because we don't have time. Time is finite.
Exactly.
So making a mistake of rejecting a correct one does happen, but preparedness is visible. It's not difficult to find out whether a person is prepared or not. I think person who confidence cannot be faked for a long time.
Right.
And preparedness manifests in the way the person confidently represents. There are technical questions. It's a given that person would know. A candidate would know. There are questions which are about cognitive, about critical thinking, about organizing thought, and then eloquently speaking about it. Those ones are where you find people and you discern the good and the bad one. Today, I think the technical gap is not as much.
Yeah.
I think everybody meets more or less in the narrow band. How people present, how people have collected experiences and reflected in how they represent those experiences in an interview, how they are able to articulate, reflects, gives me an insight into a critical thinking, into reflection, and building those thoughts. And brevity is the soul of wit. And in an interview, if you beat around the bush and you don't have clarity, I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long letter, Mark Twain. So that's also important.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about confidence? Because I've done a number of interviews that I've posted on YouTube, and one of the recurring comments is always like, you make it look so easy, you're so confident, you handle this really well. And from where I sit, like, I'm just having a conversation with someone. And it could be that, I'm speaking from a point of not bias, but privilege, in the sense that at this stage in my career, when I'm doing that, when I'm attending interviews, it is so as to test my skill in the market, not necessarily because I want to get the job. So that could be a playing factor in this. But I want to know from you, and I've always thought that, confidence is something that you have to work on, because when you're comfortable with a particular topic and you know what you know, then you're able to kind of articulate that really well, and that often comes off as being confident in your field. Is there another way that, people can actually, for our viewers, that they can develop their confidence?
I think this is a very crucial point. And see, when you're prepared and when you're playing a known game, you're confident. But the winning interviews come when you hit with a stretch question, when you hit with inconvenient, difficult question.
Yeah.
So let's first mellow it down and I start. Uh, Feelings follow action. If you feel confident, apparently you will start being confident. When you don't know something and you sticking your neck out, you speculating and you're making an informed guess into a situation where you have not repeated or you don't have a precedent is where discern comes, which is where, and this is where I tell you vulnerability and authenticity comes into play. I look for people who are comfortable with their vulnerabilities. I look for people who are authentic and say, hey, listen, I'm not too sure, but I guess it would be this.
Yeah.
And that forthwitness comes when you have internal alignment. And that comes through deep thinking, reflections, value-based living. You understand? You should be aligned to your values. You should be not taking a stand A and taking a reverse stand B on another situation. So value-based living. You should have your internal constitution which guides you to think.
Yeah.
So in vulnerable moments, in stretch moments, how people are giving a consistent and how people are comfortable in exposing their vulnerability are some crucial moments that we must factor those in. It is very okay for an introvert not to jump and mesmerize people at an interview. You know, I love introverts and I take it as a challenge to make them comfortable.
Yeah.
From an easy question. As easy as sometimes I tell them, okay, my brother, I am lazy, I'm sitting here. Or, okay, sister, I'm lazy and sitting here. Why don't you draft a question for which you have the best answer? And give me the question and I will, and then you answer yourself. Then I say, okay, do the next one. And then you pick from there.
I like that approach.
I mean, it's our duty. A person has spent so much time in our recruitment process or in any, to be there. And so has the organization spent time. So that moment should be a discovery moment, fearless. And the result should be both parties should be at least convinced that it was fairly done.
Yeah.
Whether it was fit or not fit, then the person herself would know.
Love that. I love that. I want to drive the conversation into internships and, lack of experience thereof. Yeah. Recently, we're recruiting for an SDR role, so sales development representative role, that is entry level, and the entry level required years of experience, which was 1 to 3 years of experience. And I've always said this, that in the remote space, there is no 0 years of experience because we want almost turnkey employees, right? So you have to come with something to the table. That's why we rarely see like graduate trainee programs opening up in the remote space. So I did post that on TikTok, and people are asking, what do you mean entry-level experience and you need 1 to 3 years of experience? Has that changed? Are you Delulu? And it brought me to this question where employers want some level of experience, and it's an oxymoron actually, think about it. They want some level of experience, but they're very limited internship opportunities. So you find yourself as a candidate, you've graduated, you've got this piece of paper, but you've got no experience. Yet for you to land a job, you need to have some level of experience. How can someone maneuver that situation?
I think this baffles the whole ecosystem of new entrant in the job market. Isn't it? One of the movie's dialogues, Stallone says that colleges don't do much harm. Forgive me, I'm vocalizing that from my view. But showing up every week, managing timetables, managing assignments, managing those situations, peer, etc., do shape you.
So speaking about fractional work and how women post-childbirth can actually take advantage of that, do you think that do you think that employers are ready for that?
Do employers realize that they're creating these archaic organizational structures who are fat and inefficient? There are many jobs which can be done with half or 3/4 of the roles, but just because of our mental blocks, we're not optimizing it.
Right.
It is in the interest of organizations, efficiency and effectiveness, that they look at fractional role. At the most, the current organization look at fractional is marrying two people into one job and job sharing, but they're not looking beyond.
Yeah.
I would definitely go for fractional organization structures inbuilt into organization. And then it's 3 days or 4 days or whatever. And
Yeah.
the pay is commensurate, policy is commensurate, non-disclosure are in place, remote insight, on-site are agreed upon. Women would definitely be the first ones to leverage those.
Right.
But I do not look at organizational efficiency from the lenses of gender. It's a crime. All right.
Okay, yes.
You bring on the table requisite talent and you deliver expectations.
Right.
And the organizational world should work. Probably the new mothers, returning career,
Yes.
would definitely have that as much workable proposition.
True. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. But at the end of the day, policy formation needs to come from the employer so the potential talent or even employees can take advantage
Lorraine
of that.
and the ilk would educate this organization,
Right.
and organizations would reluctantly agree to it. And before we realize, this would become a currency.
Okay.
I want to stick out and predict.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And if it doesn't, it's unfortunate. The fatness and the laziness and the inefficiencies would perpetuate.
But yeah, it would happen, the same way it's happening right now in terms of remote work, that, local or even African companies would then lose good talent because there are organizations that, already are taking advantage of fractional work. So it's either, do or die, pretty much, right? With your great talent, that is.
Should we coin a different word for fractional? Because the work is still full. The deliverables are still few. Let's recoin a better word, as in something called leverage deliveries or simultaneous project based or whatever. But the fractional, I think the word doesn't do just. I would coin something like simultaneous.
Simultaneous work. Okay. Okay, cool. And just to give you even more perspective, because we had this conversation, I think about 3 weeks back, and when I came in, and this is why I love having conversations with Bhavesh, when I came in, I was hell-bent on BTS being, full-time, remote opportunity. And I was like, I don't want to do any gig things, right? Or any gig jobs or showcase gig opportunities. And I reflected and came to the conclusion that I think I suffer from anxiety because it's gig work, it is project-based, you earn based off of the completed projects, as opposed to knowing that you've got a full salary at the end of the month and you can plan with that. There's some level of safeness. It's a safe space that you have your money and you can plan with that, as opposed to project-based roles. And I do understand now, having reflected on it, that it stems from my anxiety and my need to always have control over things. And it could be that I'm blocking, it's not everyone who follows me that has anxiety issues, but it could be that I'm blocking, either an opportunity for someone just based off of my anxieties. So, Bhavesh, if there is one message that you'd give the African talent, what would that be?
First of all, recognize your anxieties. They come because you want sense of control. Your sense of control is because you want to deliver.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah, but in today's world, I would believe if you have a control over Friday afternoon or a visibility from Monday to Friday afternoon, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Then you roll over. Okay, we need to embrace what we call is ambiguity tolerance. I believe the talent of Africa, the time is for you. You grounded in good culture, humanness, resilience. What we need to now do, find the right skills, sharpen those, show up, show that eagerness, prepare well, diverse experience at early career. Look at unrelated, just collect whatever comes your way in the early, whatever, and collect experience. Understand how people operate or try to understand how things happen and what roadblocks could come, and then create those networks where people say, hey, in your absence, they say, wow, dependable, reliable. One of the key points which frustrates managers and organization is lack of communication agility, as in give status updates. Bad news received early is good news. If you are not meeting a deadline, please throw it up and say, hey, listen, Tuesday afternoon I was supposed to deliver. Today is Saturday. I don't think I can do it. I need help. Don't wait for Tuesday. So give status updates.
Yeah.
Show up. If anything doesn't go as per time, and report it. Your job is important. Other depend on you. Remember that. And hence communicate swiftly.
Yeah.
Own your targets. Ask for help. Throw alerts. And professionals. Definition of professional is you deliver at required standard regardless of circumstances. Professional self-certifies the work and works without supervision. So let's be professional African who deliver things.
Love that. From me, I want to thank you, Bhavesh, for, and I'm completely honored, like I already said, for taking the time to just have this conversation with me. It's always wonderful time, insightful conversations. And what I've learned, and I do want you to let me know in the comment section, what is your one takeaway from this video? What I've learned is I need to be reflective. Of course, I do meditate. If you know me, you know that I meditate. But I hadn't thought about meditation and just being, reflective, or always on the go, doing what next, what next, just taking time and pausing and appreciating what I have and also reflecting in terms of what are all these things adding up to. So thank you for that, Bhavesh.
Thank you. And my heart swells with pride when I see a very young graduate today. Of course, she's mother and running her own enterprise, global scale, in a new, uncharted space, confidently so. So proud of you, and you're unstoppable force, and you are a torchbearer for many more. And you know what you're giving? You're giving people freedom. You enabling scores and hundreds or thousands of people.
Yeah.
You torchbearer, and you filling it the gaps in the market, so very important. And one more thing, reflect, write notes, and redo, because just reflection would evaporate.
Yeah, reflect, journal, and redo.
Okay, right.
Awesome.
Cheers, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.